series. This is our final event of the summer. It's been really wonderful having all these emerging artists here sharing their works in progress. That's the whole point of this series for folks who are new. The whole series is about giving artists the chance to work on something and then share that work at whatever stage it is with our community. And it's really valuable for them to have time and space to be in that sort of awkward growing period. And then it's really great for us as audiences to see kind of behind the scenes what's going on and how a piece becomes a thing. So tonight we have Glo McDonald, and she's written a piece that is called Barrel Rider, and it's inspired by the story of Annie, help my brain? Annie Edson Taylor, who was the first person, and I believe the only woman, to survive a barrel ride down Niagara Falls. So pretty cool. And just because I should say, this project is made possible with funds from the Delaware County Arts Grants, a re-grant program of the New York State Council on the Arts with the support of the Office of the Governor and the New York State Legislature, administered by the Roxbury Arts Group in Delaware County. So I just want to say a huge thank you to them, Roxbury Arts Group, and a huge thank you to Mutual Aid Society, who are becoming an official partner, housing all the artists who've stayed, about half of the artists who've stayed in this as part of this theater series, and also Eva Green, who is doing a bunch of stuff upstairs and has graciously let us use this space. So keep an eye on what's going on up there. I'm not really sure if it has an official name or anything, but we're all interested to see what that becomes. And anything else? This is Brian Dubé. He has scored the entire show, and we'll be performing it live. Oh, they're both hailing from Buffalo, New York, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Without further ado, this is Barrel Rider in progress.
In 1901, Annie Edson Taylor was a widow, had lost a child, and teaching charm school and dance lessons was not paying the bills. Fueled by a desire to make a fortune, Annie made a major career change and became an amateur daredevil. In May of 1901, the World's Fair began in Buffalo, New York. It drew huge crowds from all over and caught Annie's attention naturally, so she came up with her next plan to get rich and decided to leverage the large crowds and popularity of the fair to attempt what every other person had died trying to do. Oh my God. She decided to ride a barrel over Niagara Falls. I have no idea why I am so obsessed with Annie, but I am oddly obsessed. Annie said she was 43 when she made her plunge over the falls. I'm almost 40. And I'm not trying to get rich or make a major career change, but I'm noticing more gray hairs, and I'm noticing the way my body craves rest in a way that it never has before, and just the way it's softening. Maybe I'm spending too much time freaking out about it than just like living my life. And like, you know, I don't know, maybe I should like build my own barrel, but actually, no, you shouldn't do that. Although people have tried, there's actually been people who tried as late as the early 90s, but it is very dangerous and very illegal, so like a disclaimer, please don't get any ideas. Besides being a widow and having lost a child, Annie lived a colorful life. She survived a house fire, an earthquake, and a robbery. She stared down the barrel of a gun and refused to give in to the people trying to rob her. Okay, so I'm almost 40, sure, and I just wonder if Annie went through what I'm feeling at that age. I know that history describes her as only caring about money, but I still wonder if she and I might have experienced similar things at this point in our lives. I'm scared of getting older, and I'm scared of not making an impact in the world, and I'm scared of maybe becoming more invisible as I age. When I was a teenager, I remember my mom saying to me, you know, Glova, one day you're gonna wake up and the world that you lived in is gonna be gone. And at the time, I thought that she sounded insane. She was probably about the same age I am now. And I was like, I don't even know why you're telling me this. And now that I look around at the world, I get it, and I understand what she was saying. I grew up in San Francisco, and the version of that city that I grew up in is gone. It does not exist. I hire a lot of young people, and I recently hired somebody who was born in the year 2000, and that was really weird. You know, mostly I don't understand what they're talking about. They tell me stories about their weekend, and it sounds really painful and tiring, and they speak a language that I struggle to understand. I was talking to one of my young people recently, and I was like, oh, I love The Office. I think that show's great. And she was like, skirt! The Office is chuggy, no cap. But high key, the GOAT is Euphoria.
What the?
So, okay, great. Loosely translated, it means, hold on, I have to read it because I still don't understand. You stop. The Office is lame. Euphoria is the greatest of all time. The GOAT. So, anyways, I'm rambling. Okay, the point is that it's not actually being close to 40 that's freaking me out, or making me obsess about Annie. It's thinking through societal norms and what the world around me tells me I should be doing, or how I should be acting, or what I should have accomplished by now, when perhaps I haven't done any of those shoulds because they don't always feel right for me. It's also thinking about how Annie's story is told, and wondering how history is told and utilized as a tool of manipulation sometimes. So I am obsessed with this woman from the past because I believe she lived for herself and she was forward thinking. History doesn't tell her story that way though. History focuses on the fact that she was a widow and she was childless, and both of those things are true, but they are leaving out some details. Annie didn't like her husband, and she chose not to remarry. History doesn't depict her that way, though. So, let's try and take back the narrative. Okay, nobody wanted to work with Annie or manage her. History says this is because nobody wanted to aid in a death mission, and that is probably true. At that point, no one had survived going over the falls. However, I wonder if it had more to do with being different and going against the norms of her time, or because she was a woman in her 40s trying to attempt what she was trying to do. Regardless, she was determined. She designed her first barrel out of cardboard and string, and then found a keg maker to bring it to life. And she was inventive in her design. She equipped it with cushions to shield her body from the blow of the descent. She had an anchor put in the bottom so that she could land feet first. She developed a new harness. This helped the lid of the cask not crush her head, and it kept her body in place. She equipped it with a flask, and she had her very favorite heart-shaped Jesus, so sorry. With all of this in place, she had her team pump air into the barrel. They plugged it with a cork, and then they sent her on her way on her death-defying feet. There's water. There's water coming in. Can you hear me? She survived. Annie Edson Taylor survived her plunge down the falls. She emerged with a scrape on her head, a few bruises, and probably in quite a lot of shock. She was the first person and first woman to accomplish this. People at the World's Fair lined up to see her. And I imagine that they were impressed with a woman her age to have accomplished this. She gained some recognition. She toured around and signed postcards, and she showed off her barrel. The press started to notice her. They were touting her great accomplishment and praising her. And then her brother read the press and decided he was going to set the record straight. He found out that Annie was lying about her age to the press and told everyone her real age. It turned out that Annie was 63 when she threw herself into a barrel and flew over the falls. So I can't stop thinking about this woman. I can't stop thinking about the life that she led. I can't stop wondering what else motivated her besides money. What else history is leaving out of her story. I don't think that age really matters that much. It's not that important. Everyone is going to age and grapple with it in their own way. We're all doing it right now, in this moment. But history portrays Annie as money hungry and focuses on her being a widow and childless. But she was colorful. She didn't want to be married or have children. She was a woman who faced death head on multiple times, and she was inventive and daring. Her story reminds me that we can build our own proverbial barrel and find our own damn waterfalls to fly off of, regardless of what box people are trying to fit us into. And it reminds me of how important history is and how we tell it, and that we should try to look at it through new eyes. So I will leave you with the very last lines Annie said before they shut the lid on her barrel. I won't say goodbye. It's just an au revoir, you know. I'll see you again. More Kaats Cradel by popping any amount that you would like in that little basket. And then you can come back and ask me all of your burning questions. And I can't wait to chat with you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Like to just go on home, that's quite all right too. There's 2 doors you can exit. The rolling door we're keeping shut, but the 2 other doors are fine.